Guys, I want to talk about something that blew my mind when I learned this in the studio. So this is something that I wish that I did know when I started out. One thing that I really wish that I knew before starting out was the amount of plugins that I used didn't help me at all. If I was mixing a vocal, I really destroyed the vocal with a lot of plugins, too much plugins. I used a lot of EQ, a lot of compression, a lot of everything on the track. And as I started mixing and doing this to everything that I was working with, the computer just started struggling, really couldn't keep up. And the funny thing was, when I bypassed all the plugins, everything sounded better. The learning curve was really tough. But then I saw this guy on YouTube and he said you should try to mix backwards, because when I was mixing I started with, let's say, the kick and then the snare, and I worked my way through the mix that way. So when I was finished doing all the EQ compression on each individual track, it was time to get to the master. So the master, I just started putting things on. So basically I was making everything sound worse all the time, and I didn't get any good results. So the guy on YouTube, he said that you should try to mix backwards. The first thing that you do, you put in all your tracks and then you balance out the mix with the faders, trying to get the music the best sounding only using faders and pan stuff around. And then you set up your project, how you like to have your project. And then it's time to mix, and you start with a master. So on the master, you put on a little compressor, a bus compressor that's just gonna glue a little bit. And if you find that there's some EQ you can do right ahead that's gonna improve the mix, do it there. And then you go backwards. So instead of starting mixing on the kick, the snare, I start mixing on the drum group that I made. So I try to improve the drum bus before going to the single tracks. I'm using less plugins that I've ever done before when I started using this technique. Other thing that I really wish that I knew how to do was how to arrange a song. How to play the parts that you need to get this song to work. I really didn't listen to much music with those kinds of ears. Why is this song working so well? What are they doing in the verse that works so well when the chorus comes? How are they playing the guitars? How are the drums playing? What does the singer do? And what kind of effects are they using in the chorus? And what kinds of effects are they doing in the verse? I'm still doing this lesson. I listen to things that I really like, things that comes out now today. I try to listen for what are they doing and how are the arrangement working. So a good arrangement, a good song, that's king. A good song with lousy arrangement won't work pretty well. I wish that I knew that this was important. Gain staging. That's something that I really missed out on when I started out. I thought that I really needed to crank it up and it was okay if it hit red. So basically everything that I recorded was recorded too hot, and even I had times in there where it was clipping. So that's really the computer just cutting off the sound. Everything just sounded like crap. Until I noticed that if I'm gentle and try to listen and find the sweet spots, try to really dial in where everything sounds the best, and that is not the hottest signal. It's not the most quiet signal either. So you really have to listen and dial in. And when I started doing that, everything became a lot better. So gain staging is really important when you are recording. Speaker placement, that's another one. And speaker and where are you working in the room. So I started out in a corner. I guess a lot of people just start off in the corner. That's the most convenient place to have a desk. if you're in your bedroom, a small room, a spare room. The corners really are not used for anything else, so why not put a desk and your speakers? That's the worst place to put your desk. That's the worst place to have your speakers, because the corners are going to amplify the bass frequencies and you're gonna get nulls, phase problems. So really understanding the room benefited me a lot. I have a video, I'm gonna link it here, how to find the sweet spot, your listening position in the room. So that video can describe some for you. But really knowing where to sit, really knowing where to work in the room is really important, and that really improved my mixing skills, my recording skills, and everything when I was starting out. Another thing that I wish that I really known was playing guitar parts. So I used to, I started out, I double tracked the guitar like this. And then I double it with playing exactly the same with exactly the same chords at the same position. Now, what I know now is that that's not interesting, and it's not bringing something to the sound. Now, if you use a capo and you play the exact same thing, just another spot on the guitar. And put it together with this, you're gonna get a much fuller sound, and it's gonna sound a lot better. And you can like play this on the verse and go up here in the chorus, just to make a bit of difference. So I wish that I knew these really small things. They really are important to get something more interesting to listen to. I wish I knew all this stuff when I was starting out. It would have saved me a lot of time, and maybe the productions that I had would be a lot better back then. But the thing was, there wasn't a lot of information when I was starting out. I had people to ask when I was in a studio as a musician, but the engineer there didn't have a lot of time to sit down with me and really answer all my stupid questions. I was reading a lot of books, but books for me, it's okay to read, but I really like people showing me. That's why I love YouTube. So you got YouTube now, you got a lot of solid good information that you can get your hands on. And there's also a lot of bad information on YouTube, but as you go along understanding YouTube and understanding the craft, learning more and more, you really can see what is wrong and what is right as you go on the way. So these are a couple of things that I really would have liked to know when I was starting out. I guess it's a huge list that I can add to this, but these are things that came to mind when I was thinking about this. The reason I made this video because I've seen a couple of other guys done this, and I thought that I can chime in on my point of view on this case. I hope you liked this video. Please subscribe, hit the like button. I see you guys in another video. Take care.